Ebusu ye bon akwa bi on the Ghanaians Hmmm TV eso. Sam throwaway ade akoso mpem bebre Ghana fo bebre adwen yom se na Addo ankokofo Addo ban no egu banks bi. Na mom no ende video e be kire on the kra na mo hu se na Addo ankokofo Addo bank ba kokra no hono ma ogu no. Nhwe video yim do ayi a e be kire adwen ha ye Ghanaians Hmmm TV.
So you collapse these banks, some of whom were supporting SMEs, only to come and start another bank for SMEs.
So, you see, this government has not collapsed a single bank. Not even one bank has been collapsed by the MPP government.
I buy Wengu banks beer or financial house. I buy Wengu baby.
Let me give you a quick example. So, then I'll wrap up. Capital Bank was given over 600 million cedis to recapitalize. That was money from the taxpayer for free. The owners of Capital Bank took this money to go and do galamsey in Zimbabwe, open pure water businesses. They took the money to buy big cars.
This is your first and last warning. So we must certainly I buy Wengu banks beer or financial house. I buy Wengu baby. And if you think I buy MPP, I buy led by Nanado Danko Kufuado, will go banga. This is your first and last warning. So we must certainly be baby. Because you buy MPP, I buy another bank under another banks under another bank being where go. I move John Mahama
not even a single bank.
Let's say not even a single bank.
Okay.
Because you buy you better financial sector now it collapse already. Because in the year 2015, World Bank report stating it NDC by say Semuman Shea breach any yeni never be Ghana the financial sector. Jubesha catch us say bank 7B ya hwene anyen year ebe collapse. Because umunyina yi ye buy yengu banks ye meje banks na moma penso mo ye nhwe han me gu ye san ye buy ye be ye microfinances over 200 what are you talking about? But see enkoka baby because John Mahama and NDC for mo na mo ye hwe ma this financial sector ni jurugu mu and the what be jina ha ka che say ekufu ado baba be guba bank be no gugu no bank be no gugu no okrom ha and ye John Mahama and Bank of Ghana then and ye hwe ma and this financial sector ni gugu and this is John Mahama, the State of the Nation's address 2016. John Mahama is so no. I mean, kind of portion.
2016.
Now, me kind of portion. Eti. Now, one tia say, "Man, ko kawo baby bium." Say na go for the good banks. If you don't know, that who need all this financial sector crisis in the shall say, "Oh, John Mahama pencil." And John Mahama is aware, and he reported to Parliament. Yes, the Parliament here, House of the Records, right? You can cross-check from a Parliament. The State of the Nation's address. May kaya chero na sa scores me say man ko ka baby biom. John Mahama na ka say the State of the Nation address 2016. Also, Mr. Speaker, over the past 5 years, there has been a proliferation of microfinance companies. These companies comes under the direct supervision of the Bank of Ghana. Unfortunately, lack of effective supervision has resulted in many cases in which microfinance companies licensed by Bank of Ghana have breached the rules and created supposed pyramid schemes that have eventually come crashing down.
These companies, microfinance companies, come under the direct supervision of the Bank of Ghana. Unfortunately, lack of effective supervision has resulted in many cases in which microfinance companies licensed by the bank have breached the rules of procedure they were supposed to follow and have created supposed pyramid schemes that eventually came crashing down.
One such case is DKL. Then they see what DKL. Then they see what DKL. Then they see what just motors. Then they see God is love. Then you know under John Mahama. So Ucha Ahasena or say this companies comes under the direct supervision of the Bank of Ghana. Unfortunately, lack of effective supervision. So all these microfinance companies, they came crashing down under John Mahama. and you sit on radio, you sit on TV, telling the Ghanaian people, say, Nanado Danko Kufuado, or Bayen Wegu banks. And the moment is one typical bank, Uktiomukoma, I moved 9 billion shema, and friends saying, Omutumi survive. Here's Anomoka. Here's Anomoka B.
What was he saying?
So, banks, ye kika ni bom ni ade ade ninya, ye betumi the 9 billion I had sustain you. In the year 2015, one typical bank was Capital Bank. The Bank of Ghana then injected 620 million Ghana cedis in Capital Bank. Owners never acquire any bazaar. And the Capital Bank CEO then, he jailing for 15 years. And you sit on radio, sit on TV. I don't know, say, ignorance and I say hypocrisy. And I'm out on TV so can say a Kufuado and MPP about baby Guba.
My
baby, last one
and the banking sector cleanup or the buyer. What was the motive of this banking sector cleanup, Nana?
Yes, to save 4.6 million Ghanaians deposits. Because not Ghana for Mako 4.6 million. And I'm sick of the bank in Kelque Jemu, our Mokwa Monsanka. Men and AJ, me a victim. Men and AJ, me a victim. GN Bank, na me save you. Till death, me Sanka Misika. And you sit on radio and sit on TV and okay, come here, there. Now, at maybe 200 cities for our banker, nothing. I hold you here, or maybe a fire sitting one. Do you know something? Now 500 Ghana cedis. You been delay more than 2 hours. Oh, banking sector. Waiting Namhana of our paper. Now waiting Namha. Or more deposits.
Government has not collapsed a single bank. Not even one bank has been collapsed by the MPP government. UT Bank wasn't collapsed. It was merged with GCB Bank. You have done business administration. Is measure collapse? Capital Bank wasn't collapsed. It was merged by GCB. Is measure collapse? Tell me one depositor who was saving with UT Bank or Capital Bank that didn't get access to his banking services from GCB. The only thing that happened to the UT Bank at Airport Square was that the signage was changed from UT Bank to GCB Bank. How is this collapse? Why have we consistently put out this misinformation?
GN Bank, for instance.
GN Bank is the only bank in this country.
And it was
hold on. Don't change the conversation.
I'm not.
No, wait. So let me make the point. All the other banks were consolidated into CBG.
Right.
So they were not collapsed. Their depositors, their customers, they all go to CBG. So those banks were not collapsed. A lot of the employees who were not being paid for months under these banks are still working at GCB Bank, at CBG Bank, and all of that. 4 million depositors were saved through this banking sector cleanup. Never call it collapse. It is false. So what? You know it better.
So
don't follow the conversation.
What did you do
now,
to
JN
GN
Bank, this is what is happening. When all these other banks were being resolved and being realigned, GN Bank challenged governments and Bank of Ghana's intervention on that and went to court. What it meant was that GN Bank's resolution did not complete. It didn't complete. And that is why GM Bank is hanging as it is. So if the GM Bank depositors have anybody to blame, they should blame the owner. That's one. You were not able to pay depositors funds when they come to withdraw money. 2, you were not able to pay your workers. 3, your bank had collapsed. We are not the ones saying it. A 2015-2016 report by Mahama, His Excellency, and his government and Bank of Ghana listed the banks that were collapsing. For which reason their government gave these banks several taxpayers' money to resuscitate them. Several taxpayers' money to resuscitate them, and which they failed. So let me give you a quick example. So then I'll wrap up. Capital Bank was given over 600 million cedis to recapitalize. That was money from the taxpayer for free. The owners of Capital Bank took this money to go and do galamsey in Zimbabwe, open pure water businesses. They took the money to buy big cars. They were given another one. They squandered it. In fact, they used one of the monies that government gave to them to go and set up another bank. The collapsing bank, which government gave you and I our money to, use the money that was given to them to save their bank to go and set up another bank. Now, MPP government comes to place and they say that, well, government has already given you several interventions, which you squandered. So we don't think you have the capacity to manage your bank. So the only thing the MPP government did was to change the management of these banks. The management of these banks. And ever since UT Bank and Capital Bank management was changed and merged with GCB Bank management. Sawa, have you ever heard any customer of Capital Bank or UT Bank complain that they were going to withdraw their money and they told them they don't have money? Come on, let's educate our people properly. No bank was collapsed under this regime.